Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday morning, October 11th. We are looking at Window Traders market profile of SPY, IWM, and Triple Q. Hope you all had a very nice weekend. So after the market, pretty much all three of these indices sold off late in the day on Friday. We all end up with K being the afternoon rally high. We are all looking to gap lower this morning. Right now, as you can see, Triple Qs, who had a 10-wide POC, looking to fill the gap from the 7th and have a gap of their own today as they're taking back right now. Again, there's 75 minutes to go. Their price probe from the 6th. They did not have a trend day like we did. So just something to keep in mind as that day goes forward. Russell, inside day on Friday. Gap and lower out of it. You go with it, monitor it for continuation or lack of. As right now, they got close to pre-market filling their gap from the 7th, but right now they're in between gaps. Basically the same with us. We're coming out of a 2-day balance to the downside, so the daily will go back to down. Remember, the monthly's been balanced to down, weekly down. Daily's now going from balance to down. Sellers still in control. We've been talking about this now for about 3 weeks. Very mechanicals. They came very close to filling the gap pre-market, and right now they're in between gaps. So you will have gap rules apply. Again, all in context. As far as destinations, right now the first one on the upside would be Friday's low of 437.19, which would fill the gap. Then I have 438.58. Actually, we have a lot before that, prior to that. Remember, no, that would be the first one. I apologize. 438.58 overnight high, and then 438.63 11 wide. So if by some chance buyers come back and fill this gap, well, again, not much stopping us from getting to that very, very wide POC. And then above that, 439.31 afternoon rally high, 439.89 daily high. Remember, the question was, which gap was going to get filled first? The upside one where we left 22 cents or this one? Right now, sellers are trying to take control here. For the downside, if we gap lower, our first destination would be the gap fill, which is 435.12. That's the high from the 7th. Then we have 434.87, which is my overnight low. Price probe, 434.53. And then unlike Triple Qs and NQ, we had two sets of single prints, 433.02 to 432.81 and 432.01 to 431.52, and then the afternoon pullback of 429.35 from that day. So again, game plan for this morning. Well, right off the bat, sellers, unless something drastically changes in the next 75 minutes, will have value on their side and a gap on their side. I would think the odds of filling the gap from the 7th would be good. You might get an inventory adjustment first. Again, the closer we get to filling that gap, the less the odds will be that I take a put play, even though people will be yelling gap rules apply. Remember, right now it's still short-term traders, how mechanical we got close to it. If they fill the gap, that might be all they want to do initially. You get an inventory adjustment. See how the price probe reacts, things of that nature. I might actually take a small long if we fill the gap, if we open inside and against the price probe. Any acceptance in, I'd be out, and then I'll see again if I want to try another call play in these single prints. Any acceptance below C's high from that day, though, and that game is over. That would be if they stretch it early. On the flip side, if they push this up before 9:30 and the risk reward against Friday's low is a much better one, then I will absolutely take a put play with the gap in the lower value. I'd be out if, maybe not if the gap fills right away, if we start getting any acceptance back into Friday's range. Again, early plays. And then on the chart, so right now the monthly we said was balanced to down. Any acceptance back into this big balance, which we'll get to on the daily, and again, July's target of 421.97, right? Still firmly in play. Now remember, we came out of an inside month. I'm sorry, we had an outside month down last month. That previous month's low is 436.10. We're trading at 435.92. So still a very, very visual area there. So if we do fill the gap, the bigger question is, do we stay below that monthly low or do we come back into it? All very important things. If we stay below it, then again, July's low comes into focus. And the weekly, which has been down for 4 weeks, is right now still down, obviously, even though we're opening up inside of last week's range. And then on the daily, and this is what I was talking about, we're gapping lower. It's one thing to fill this gap, but we start getting acceptance into this whole area, well, then the bottom of the balance, right, it will be down, but it will be inside this balance, and the target eventually will be 426.36, and if we don't hold that balance, it would be July's low. Now, one thing, volume so far 400,000. So, I mean, we still have a lot of time to go, but nothing huge so far to the downside. We'll see if we're at 2-3 million come 9:30. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.